the beginner class, and then in an hour from now, we'll do an intermediate class. But yay, I'm very excited. And then the intermediate class, if you want to join, please do so. I just did both, so people can get, you know, a basic class of just basic yoga, and then maybe they want to work on something, like maybe you're working on handstands or arm balances, and you just want to do that. So that's what the intermediate class is going to be more geared toward. And anyways, if you have a question or anything, go ahead, like unmute yourself and just ask me. But we'll just like try to stay muted, including, okay, good. I have like 2 things going on, so I have to make sure that I am muted on my second one. So anyways, wherever you are, we'll find a nice, comfortable seated position. If you have yoga blocks, I highly recommend getting them online, or a book, or just anything. I find props to be really helpful. We'll all sort of close down our eyes and take one deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And on the inhale, we'll do a 3-second inhale. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale for 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And exhale for 5. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and just start breathing in and out on your own. Then slowly blink your eyes open if your eyes were closed. And we'll start to roll forward onto our hands and knees. Remove the block if you have one. And we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. You can have your toes tucked. It's a little bit more stable, or untucked. And we'll inhale that deep breath as we bring our chest forward, our pelvis tilts, and our gaze starts to rise. Cow. Exhale. As our shoulders come forward, our chest caves in, our pelvis tilts the other way, gaze between the knees. Cat. Inhale. Cow. Exhale. Cat. Inhale. Cow. Exhale into your cat pose. Inhale, cow. And exhale to a neutral spine. You can kind of wiggle a little bit, just feel how that felt on your back. And we'll inhale, lift our right arm up. Exhale, kick our left leg back. Just a nice little combination here. Just feel the strength there of that sort of pull from your arm and pull from your legs as you inhale and exhale. Bring your hand back down to the mat. Bring your leg out to the left. If there's room, place it down on the floor and push back into a modified child's pose. And inhale, come back up onto hands and knees, using the strength of that outer leg, lifting your leg up, bringing it back behind, and placing your knee down. Give yourself a few windshield wipers as I adjust. Okay, perfect. Awesome. And then we'll go to the other side. Inhale, bringing that left arm up. Exhale, kick the right leg back. Inhale here, strong and that sort of alternating pull. And exhale, kick that right leg out to the right. And then placing it down, left hand down, push back into a modified child's pose. It should feel nice on the hip. It shouldn't feel like a big strain. So if you have to readjust, please do so. Or if you can't go all the way down, you can just go to whatever feels nice. It's all about checking in with your body to see what feels the best. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, pushing up, back onto your hands. Finding again the strength of that outer thigh, lifting up that right leg, sending it back, and then placing it back down to your hands and knees. Bring your knees wide, make your big toes touch, and then exhale, push back into child's pose. For child's pose, there's several different modifications. You can have your knees together. You can have your knees wide. You can bring your hands between your legs, grabbing onto your feet. If your knees are together, you can grab onto the go onto the outsides. So lots of modifications for child's pose. And for yoga, if they're ever wanting to take a break, this is a great pose if it feels comfortable. If it doesn't, there's other poses. Inhale, come back onto hands and knees. And exhale, again, finding that strong core here. So we inhale, exhale, tuck the toes, and start to press back into maybe your first downward facing dog of the day. And go ahead and just bend your knees, bringing your heels down to the mat, maybe finding a deep bend and maybe a little twist. Maybe you want to bring your feet in a little closer, finding a deep bend in your knees, bringing your stomach closer to the top of your thighs. A big stretch in the shoulder here. Maybe you want to go through a vinyasa flow, coming forward into a plank, upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog. Whatever you want for your downward facing dog of the day. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Gaze forward between your hands. And then as you gaze forward, start to step slowly to the top of your mat and think heel to toe, heel to toe. As you slowly come forward into a forward fold. Exhale here. We'll be here for a few breaths, so maybe some options here. You want to wrap around behind your knees. Maybe you want to grab your hands behind your back. Straighten out the elbows just a little bit. Maybe you want to bring your hands behind your neck. For this one, don't pull down, just with the weight here. That should be fine for a nice stretch. And then relax the jaw. Maybe shake the head yes. Maybe shake the head no. Find whatever you need to get a nice stretch here. Maybe you want to keep a nice bend in the knees here. Maybe you want to straighten them. Inhale, we'll find stillness. Exhale in the fold. And inhale, start to come onto the feet, strengthen the back of the legs as you slowly rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So strong in the back of the legs, Arms out, shoulders rolled back and down. And this is mountain pose. So as if someone were to come up to you and possibly push you, they couldn't because you're strong and rooted in your feet here in mountain pose. And we'll do sun salutation. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right leg back into a lunge. Exhale, step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward into a plank. Exhale, options, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, you can come into cobra or upward facing dog. This is cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll be here for 2 breaths. Yogi's choice, you always can come into child's pose for a break. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, we'll step that right foot in between the hands into a lunge. Exhale, step the left leg forward between the hands, fold. Inhale, rising up strong in the legs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left leg back this time, or the opposite of what you did last time. Lunge. Exhale, step the right leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward into a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. I'll show chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. This is upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, we'll be here for a few breaths. Just making sure everyone's muted. Inhale and exhale. We'll step the left leg forward between the hands. Exhale. Right leg forward. Forward fold, excuse me. Inhale, strong in the legs as we rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your mountain pose. You can bring your arms out and strong. Awesome. All right, we're gonna inhale here, bringing our arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back into a lunge. Exhale, bring that right foot into a 90-degree angle, or the heel is pointing in the middle of the foot. As you start to bring your gaze up a little bit, engage the core. The left leg is at a 90-degree angle, or the thigh is parallel with the mat. Your left arm is pointing straight, parallel with the thigh, and then your right arm lifts up and brings you over into a warrior 2. Checking to see if you're far forward or far back. You want the weight nice in the middle. You want to be able to see the big left toe in front of your left knee. And then your back leg should be strong and should be holding about half of the weight. Arms should be pointing straight out, and then your shoulder blades are knitted together. Your gaze is maybe at your left middle finger. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, straighten that left leg. And exhale, this is where a block would be handy. As you start to fold down to the left side, you want to make sure that right hip isn't tracking down. Bring that hip up. Maybe you rise a little bit more. This is triangle pose. I like to, because I don't have a block right now, I want to press my forearm into
my calf. If I can't reach the floor, my right arm is coming up, and that way I'm really open here in my hip, able to get a nice stretch in that left inner thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Really opening up that right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Few more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. We'll bring this right arm down as the hip follows. Bringing our hands onto the mat, coming into a lunge. So maybe you have to readjust that back leg. Again, so your right hip is down, your hands are framing that right foot, and you're in a lunge. And maybe you want to bring that right leg up. Now start to engage the core again. Hips should be matched left and right. Engage the core. Maybe your fingers start to float. Gaze forward. Inhale as you bring your arms up and overhead. So again, your hips are together. Your stance, if you're right on top of each other, it's going to be hard. So you're going to want to be on two separate skis or two separate railroad tracks here. Bringing your hands back at the hips. Bend the right knee a little bit, and then bring your pelvis in so that you can engage the core. Then straighten that right leg and see if that's a little bit more stable there. You can bring your hands back up and overhead. Inhale, strong in the core. Exhale, finding that drishti focal point, that balance, and straighten that left leg. Inhale. Exhale, we fold. Finding our pyramid pose. Maybe you have to step that right leg in a little bit. You want to make sure the right hip is coming forward. So it's almost like you're pulling that left foot back. And that'll give you that nice stretch on the back of the leg and the hamstring. Inhale. If you have blocks, it's really nice to rest your hand on blocks. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And then while we're in a fold, we'll bring our hands on the inside of that left foot, and we'll start to bring our hands all the way to the middle. We'll readjust our feet so that they're at 45s, and then we'll find a nice wide-legged forward fold here. Inhale. Exhale. Options for a wide-legged forward fold. Always, if you want to take a headstand here, just be careful of the things in your house. You could always just grab onto your ankles or to your calves. You can grab onto your hands behind the lower back, straighten out the arms. You can go into a wide-legged downward dog. You can reach the mat behind. Lots of options for your wide-legged fold. Really just trying to get a nice stretch here. Inhale. Exhale. If you're feeling like you got a little bit of a bend in your lower back, you could always bring a block or a book or something like that so you can kind of take it out and you'll get more of a nice stretch there. Beautiful. Inhale. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Exhale. I will learn more about Zoom. It's not showing me everyone, so I can't really help out. Inhale. And exhale in your fold. Now we were on the left side before, so we'll slowly start to move our hands over to the right foot, bringing our hands onto the, bringing the right foot in between the left and right hand, coming into a lunge with the right foot. Beautiful. Once you're in the lunge, we'll set up again for warrior 2. So bringing that left foot at a 90-degree angle, And then starting to engage that side body, finding that 90-degree angle in the right foot, bringing that right hand out parallel to that right thigh. And then the left hand, as you inhale, brings you up into your warrior two pose. Strong here. Between your left and right foot, you want to almost be pulling in as if my mat would ripple beneath. One exercise I do on more of a slick floor is to have one foot on one towel, one foot on the other towel. And if I don't move, that's a good pose because I'm really using my inner thighs here. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, finding that focal point, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, we fold, finding our triangle position. Again, making sure that left hip doesn't dip down, bringing it back up. Maybe we come out of the fold a little bit. If you have a block or something nearby, that's usually really helpful. Or you can just, again, press that arm into that leg, engage the core, engage the body, bringing that left shoulder up. And then your gaze would normally be at that left thumb. Inhale. Exhale. More of a side body stretch than a fold. Inhale. And exhale. Last inhale in pyramid. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring that left arm down as the right hip comes down with it. Hands come on to the left and right side of the right foot. And you can reposition that left leg so that you can get ready for your warrior one. Remember, you want your feet on separate railroad tracks or separate skis. You want your hips together, strong. Gaze forward, engage the core. Maybe your hands start to float. Inhale. And then, of course, you do want a nice 90-degree angle in that leg. Exhale. Finding that nice twisty focal point and inhale, coming up into your warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, bending that left knee, placing your hands on your hips, maybe adjusting your pelvis a little bit, finding the strength of the core, straightening that left leg, seeing if this was a little bit different. Bringing your hands back up, inhale, exhale. When you do that, it takes a lot of the power out of that thigh and brings it onto both legs. Inhale, exhale, straighten the right leg, finding your dristy focal point, exhale and fold. And you might want to step your legs up a little bit. This is your pyramid pose. So maybe you're right here. Maybe you find blocks or a book or something like that. Again, bringing that left hip forward to meet the right, and then you'll find a nice stretch here in the back of the right leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. And on your next exhale, start to bring your hands to the left. And you can have your legs a little wider, whatever you prefer. If you wanted a block before, you try to keep that lower back a little less bowed up. Finding a nice forward fold. We'll be here for just a few moments. You can find, maybe you did hands behind the back last time. Maybe you just grabbed onto elbows. Maybe you did a headstand. Just turning off that reminder. Anyways, and fold. We'll inhale, come out of whatever bind you may have. Exhale, as you start to come to the left, Again, bringing that right hip down, coming into a lunge. And then we're gonna move the left foot all the way to the left side of the mat. Sorry, the right side of the mat. Left knee comes down to the left side of the mat. We're gonna come into a pigeon pose. You'll want your shin maybe parallel with the front, but if it doesn't come to that, that's fine. It's an intense stretch. You wanna keep a nice flex in that left foot to protect your knee. If your right hip doesn't come all the way down, you can come onto a block or a book or whatever you have nearby. Looking at your back leg, seeing if it's sickled left or right. You want it straight back. Inhale here in your pigeon pose. Exhale and fold. A nice intense hip opener right now. Maybe you come onto a block or some sort of padding. Maybe you come all the way down. If you have an intense stretch going on and you want to go a little further, you could always bring your right shoulder down to the mat. Your left arm goes over, and that'll be a nice shoulder opener option. Of course, that's if you have a pretty deep hip opener already. Inhale. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. And on your inhale, start to come up on your hands, placing your hands on either side of the knee, tucking the right foot, lifting the right knee, engaging the core, lift your left leg up into your plank, step it back, downward facing dog. You can bend one knee at a time, feel the difference in your hips. And then we'll bring our right knee forward, inhale, and step it into a lunge, exhale. We'll come into this the same way we did on the other side. So from a lunge, bringing our right foot all the way to the left, lowering our right knee down to the right side of the mat, finding our pigeon pose, whatever works for us. Again, if you need a block under that left hip, or even that right hip, both are great. If you want to take this on the floor, I should have given that as an option. You can always be on the back, holding on to that shin with the leg straight. Wherever you are in your pigeon prep, inhale strong and exhale fold. We'll be here for a few breaths.
Pressing into the mat around the right foot, tucking the toes of the left foot, lifting the left knee. Strong in the hands as you press that right knee into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, step the right leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat, hands and knees. Crossing your feet at the ankles, roll back into a seated position. Lying down all the way, bringing your legs out long, hands to your side, finding your Shavasana or corpse pose. We will now take a 3-minute corpse pose or Shavasana.